In this video, I'm going to show you how you can quickly move from scarcity into abundance so that you can create your reality from an abundant frame. Now, if you and I have not met yet, my name is Troy, and my goal is to help you 10x your results in life. Now, look, I came to learn these things from being in a scarce frame for many years and then moving into an abundant frame. Now, there's usually 3 areas of life that I want you to look at. That's going to be your health, your wealth, and relationships. And ask yourself the question, am I in a scarce frame in any one of those 3, maybe all 3 or 2 of the 3? It's okay. We just want to look at that. And ask yourself the other question, when I'm in a scarce frame, what do I get? You get what you can take. So that's what I want you to realize. Like, think about it financially, or even a job. Maybe you're at a job you don't really like. You feel like you don't have a lot of options. You're going to take what you can get. Maybe it's a relationship. You feel like you don't have a lot of options when it comes to dating, meeting somebody. Again, you're going to take what you can get. If you have a business, you're going to take what you can get. I'll give you this much money versus what you really want to get. And so what we have to do is understand the framework and the pattern to get into an abundant frame, so then we can make decisions from there. So the first thing that really happens when we're in this scarce frame is we're in the lack type of energy. And you'll feel it energetically, right? Your mind almost becomes like a calculator, whether it's finances or people, social dynamics, social situations. Your brain is just like calculating. It's very tight, very stiff. Our energy is tight and stiff. So we want this energy of abundance. As an example, I had a client recently I was working with. They went through a breakup. One of those like early stages of the breakup where they kind of break up, probably gonna get back together. They're in all that kind of like interesting dynamics. And I told her, I said, look, if you're thinking about getting back together with that person, it's fine. But I don't want you to make the decision until you're in an abundant frame. She's like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, meaning that you have lots of options, meaning that you're socially active. Like, do you have hobbies where you create a connection to other people, where you're meeting new people throughout your day? On your day-to-day basis, during the day, do you feel comfortable enough to walk up to someone, introduce yourself, make a connection, maybe grab their Instagram, let them know you do cool things, you can invite them to something? Do you do that at night? Do you go out maybe even once a week throughout the night? Maybe you don't really like to do that, but putting yourself in that situation just to make some new connections. Or do you have online dating apps or social media apps where you can meet people? And so as we maximize those things, you start to get more influx, right? More options, and therefore you can make a decision. Do I actually want to be with this person? But when that's your only option, you're going to take what you can get. So the same comes down to business, right? Recently I was doing something. I had this webinar I was doing. I was coming down to the last minute. I was like, man, I got some open spots. I'd love to get some people in there. And this is a phrase I want you to remember. To create abundance, you want to punch through the wall, not at the wall. So listen to this. So I go down, get ready for the webinar, and I'm like, man, I got a couple spots. Let me send a few messages through my DMs on social media with people who might like want to be part of this. And then I stopped. I'm like, okay, that's punching at the wall, not through the wall. So I ended up sending 50 direct messages. 50, so I could take massive action to move into abundance. So then when I presented my offer at the end of the webinar, I was in a state of abundance, right? I could ask for what I actually wanted versus scarcity. Like scarcity, like, oh, I got 3 people here. I'd love to work with you. Or massive abundance is like, I got 50 people on the webinar. Here's what I got to offer. This is the price. Do you see how that creates a different reality? And so we have to take massive action to get the results we want. Maybe it's health, right? Do you have access to people who health is actually easy for them? They're already in an abundant frame. Like, think about that. Like, if you come around me with health, wealth, relationships, you'll hear me say things like, those are easy, right? I surround myself with people like that. When it comes to relationships, maybe I talk to them, maybe we're gonna do a social event. Maybe for me, it's a little more of a stretch, but for them, like, oh yeah, no big deal, no problem, right? And then maybe someone comes around me with finances. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem, you can make that easy. Let's set you up like this. Already in an abundant frame. So we surround ourselves with those type of people. We take massive action, punching through the wall, not at the wall, and really get the skills and taking the correct, right action to move into this abundant frame. And again, this is the key. You want to create your reality. You want to make your decisions from a space of abundance. It will change your life. And just ask yourself the question, have I been making my decisions from scarcity, from lack? Again, think about your work. Maybe you feel like you have a lot of options. You don't like your work right now. You don't like your job. But if you took massive action, just start applying to different jobs, putting yourself out there, and you had 10 other options. Maybe you're working on a side hustle, 2 side hustles, 3 side hustles, and those 10 job offers or 10 opportunities. Now you're in abundance, and when it comes to making decisions, you're creating it from an abundant reality. Then you can leave your job, you can speak with more authority, whatever it is you need to do in that situation, but at least it's coming from an abundant frame. You're creating lots of options for yourself. It changes your reality. It creates an upward spiral of energy, and that's where I want you to go. Only upward, baby. So I make these videos for you. I'd love to connect with you. Head over to my website, troyfontana.co. I got some awesome stuff there for you for free. Follow along, connect, Until next time, peace.